All right, welcome back. Welcome back. It's now time for our weekly program. It's called Fire Talk, and we have represented for Fire Conversation this morning two representatives from the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services, Timothy and Rommel. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome once again.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, GQ. Good morning.
Listening audience.
Good morning, good morning.
And the viewing audience.
Yes, and viewing as well. Great.
As well.
We're going to open the lines in a bit, but let's hear from officers first. That's on the agenda for today. I believe we continue the conversation.
Continuation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Parts of a
wildland fire.
Wildland fire.
Yes. So maybe we could do a quick recap again. All the things that. So we touched on the origin, the head, the fingers, the perimeter, the heel, the flanks. We touch on islands.
We touch island. We touch
the
spot.
Caymans.
we touch spot fires. So we are down to our last two.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which
is
the green area.
The green area.
We have the green area. This is the unburnt area. This is the area of the fire that, well, the area of the wildland fire that was not affected by the fire. I think in some way it is closely. Well, no, let me don't say that because I will be basically saying that it's the same as an island, which the island is a green area within the burnt area. The green area is the unburnt area ahead of the fire.
Outside of the perimeter.
The area of the fire that has where the fire has not reached as yet.
Beyond the flanks.
To the definition.
Beyond the flanks.
Outside of the flanks. It says ahead, so it could be even ahead of the fire where the fire has not reached as yet. So all the area is still green. So that is considered the green area, which is totally different to the island. The island is a green area in the inside of the burnt area. Okay, so all the areas on the flanks, outside of the flanks, and the head of the head, ahead of the fingers, all those areas are called the green areas. Okay, and then we move on to the.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, Joe.
Yes.
Isn't it obvious that area will be green?
Well,
it is not green based on
green.
the color, because if the vegetation is dry, it wouldn't be green.
Right. So
it's not necessarily called green because the vegetation would be green. It's just called green because that's the area that has not been touched by the fire as yet.
Okay.
So let's see, like how we go into we would have been going through a drought period. No lack of rainfall. The grass is not green. The grass would be say brown. That area would still be considered the green area because it hasn't been affected by fire as yet.
Okay. All right, I understand. So that's the terminology for...
Yes.
Okay. Number two?
Yeah, so the other one is the black. So we have the green, now we have the black. Now the black area is the area that has already been impacted by the fire. It has been affected by the fire. So there is where you would have the burnt areas, the ash and stuff like that, hence giving it the name, the black. This area is, for a wildland fire, it can be a safe haven for fire officers who are actually extinguishing the fire, because let's compare the two. Now, the green area is the area that is unburnt, right? If you basically attack the fire is coming to you, you stand a chance of, probably becoming consumed by the fire, engulfed in flames. Especially, remember we talk about spot fires that could end up growing, and you could become trapped between those two fires, right? I think I remember speaking of when we attacking a fire, we attack from from sometimes the flanks and then going into where the head is. Now, sometimes you would see us going in the area that is already burnt because fire cannot consume there again. It has already swept through. So we work inside that area sometimes to get our job done a little bit more efficiently and effectively. Notwithstanding, however, in that area, the black area, it can be hot, all right? And sometimes the oxygen level is a lot less in that area because fire consumes oxygen. I could remember a time I was working in Nevis and there was a bushfire, and I was away from the truck at that point in time. We extinguish fires by different means, taking bush and beating fire ants to extinguish it. So I was away from. I didn't have a line and everything, and that fire that I was trying to extinguish, it took a huge turn. And the only thing that I could do to save myself, so to speak, was to run through a low-lying area of fire and get into the black area.
Wow.
And when I got into the black area, I was somewhat starved for oxygen because the fire in its swirl, it's consuming all the oxygen that is inside there. So it was a bit of a nerve-wracking experience for me. That was my first time experiencing something like that. So it was a bit, nerve-wracking for me. But, it prepared me in the event of it happening again. I know what to expect and things like that.
And even though the area might be hot and smoky, it is still considered safer than being in the green. 'Cause in that area, while it has smoke and heat, we have our gears that are equipped to at least protect us from heat, and we have our breathing apparatus that allows us to breathe in those type of atmospheres. So once we are fully equipped, that area would be even safer once we are fully equipped. So it is still much safer than the green area.
Wow.
Even though it poses its risk.
Difficulty and risk and challenge. Challenges.
The lines are now open. I ask you gentlemen to put on your headphones.
Sure.
So we can take some calls, some questions, and some concerns from our listeners and, of course, our viewers as well. 465-2555, that's 2555. And for those of you in the United States and Canada area, 718-577-2916. So we've touched base on all of the parts of a wild land fire. The fingers, the flanks, the head, the heel, the islands, the greens.
Yeah, you're going good.
The blacks.
The blacks.
Let's take this call. Can I remember no more?
The origin.
You did good.
Good morning.
You did good.
Yeah, about 90%.
You're live. Go ahead. Good morning.
GQ.
Yes, Sonny Boy.
Morning, this is Sonny Boy. I'm glad to see you, man. I love you, man. I look at you all the time. This question is for Sergeant Romero.
Go ahead.
The head of the fire department, is that a political appointment?
Well, yes, it's appointed by the Governor General.
Oh, so he's not appointed by no party?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, well, Robert, you and Sergeant Timothy, you all doing a good job, and take care of my family back home, okay, and all my people in St. Kitts and Nevis. May the Lord bless you and keep you guys, man. GQ, special kudos for you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
Yes,
Thank you very much for the acknowledgement.
All right. Like I said, the lines are open. 465-2555. Any question for the wild land fire? You can do so, or any other question or concern you can ask the fire officers who are in the studio at the moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I was about to say that we remember last week we had a question about buses going to the pumps, whether they
Yes.
should have persons on board or not.
Passengers.
So we would have done some research and asked some questions. We reached out to our partners in Sol, and we also contacted the police force. And at Sol, we were told that they don't know of any particular standard that would say that the passenger bus should not have in any passengers. However, of course, different jurisdictions would have different, requirements as it relates to that particular issues. The French might have something different to the Europeans and different to the British. So everybody would need to have their own thing as it relates to that. However, what they would, they say that as a matter of safety and risk reduction, certain things might need to be put in place. Like if you're at the pumps, it's no you disconnect a seatbelt, or whether the door should be open, for quick exit. Whether you should be on a cell phone, and most of the pumps said no cell phones. So you would need to have mechanisms in place to prevent or minimize risk. And so he's basically saying that they don't know of any particular standard because they don't have any regulations to say, well, no, definitely no passenger supposed to be in the bus. So as I mentioned, it's just a matter of having things in place to
Best practices.
to best practices to boost safety and minimize risk. And Mr. Martin would
Maybe
come in
I
and
could touch on
the
what
police,
was said from the Royal St. Christopher. And
Before you do though, remember your thought. Let's
Sure.
take this call. Good morning.
Yeah, GQ, good morning.
Yes, Jam Dog, morning.
The youngsters them there, the fireman, about 3 Sundays ago, you all had a fire over on Alois Mountain, over there by the development over there. Where the fire was somebody maliciously in the garden, like something in the garden? Hello, where
Yes.
I know where Alois Mountain be?
yeah, we know.
Yes,
we
uh-huh.
were just waiting for you to
Why
finish.
I answer?
No, we
We
were
were
just waiting
waiting
for you to make sure you were done.
Well, we want to know, because we want to know if people is suspicious to see investment around here. People properties. I'm going to like fire the garden. Because I have a problem with that, and you are going to have the hierarchy. I don't have the guys organized with this kind of behavior and think it's, Because I don't understand how English people, they say Spanish, I'll be telling them the place is joy and people in garden lighting fire. But tell me something. I want to ask this question. I see the truck had a problem to get up on the hill. What happened? The trucks them they're in good order. The truck to
Yeah.
reach up where the ground is. I want to know if they're in good order, because everybody should have factories to make sure that they clean these tracks. And it come to me from since people gonna be able to live. They just take over these tracks and do as they like. The public that need agents to walk, And they cannot take up the government land just like that. They give you a certain type to build. Don't come over in the track where people gotta walk to go up to the ground. Have a good day, Chico. This is Jam Down. I'm born here and I will speak.
I jumped
Yes.
down.
Let's up them down. So in relation to that particular question, we have responded to fires in that area, numerous fires in that area, and most of the times when we get to those places, we met bush fires, wildland fires, and nobody around to determine whether or not it was maliciously lit or otherwise. However, whatever be the case, if it was lit maliciously, then we always, of course, will continue to advocate that persons desist these kind of practices. The place is becoming more and more developed. People are now living in places that we would not expect people to live in years gone. So we have to be careful how you light fires. And in relation to the truck not being able to access some of these areas, the roadways, after we have heavy rainfall, the road is still dirt roads. So once you have heavy rainfall, you find that the water will wash away the soil and you leave deep holes or sometimes trenches in the road that we really can't take certain risk taking the truck up to those areas because we can't have an instance where that truck gets stuck and not being able to, we have a truck stuck that size, the size of a vehicle stuck in a road up Alois. It's not going to be very easy to get that unstuck. So we have to make decisions, and sometimes what we do, we take the utility pickup truck, which is a 4-wheel drive truck, and we use that truck and we go up with men, and we have what you call water bags, 5-gallon water bags. We fill the bags and we go up using the utility vehicle that is more designed for climbing those type of hills. And so we would go up and make how much of a trips we need to make to get the fire under control. But the truck that we have presently, it is more of a street truck, a design street, so it would not be able to take some of those,
Off the
some
road.
hills. Off road. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, JQ,
Yes, man.
I'm here.
Yes, culture.
Just for your chief and your colleague there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, culture.
Now, concerning those dirt road that Jam don't talk about just now, I was on a sugar estate, and all those dirt road, they used to be maintained, and what they did, they dig some round sluice to the side of the road them.
For the water.
So that the water.
Right. So the water wouldn't come down in a great volume and wash out the road.
And more controlled.
As firemen, and you all have to be protecting the houses where they go build house. I think the fire should have the authority of power authority to let the residents them who live in the area make sure they maintain the road. Because if there is no road, no fire truck go up, they go out the house. I think you all should have that power. And another question now, suppose, God forbid, our gas station in St. Kizzy, the small, God forbid that a fire in one of those gas station buildings with the officer whatsoever it is. And those gas pumps and the tank not yet being exploded. How will you all get close to that to out it? Guaranteeing that the tank them not going to explode before you all get it out. I'll listen to you after here. Thank you very much.
And before you go, culture, you heard the response to your question from last week?
About the with the passengers them going to take gas. Yeah, holding.
Okay, good.
I is holding.
I know you're hurting.
Yeah, but that has not finished there because we have not even touched the police response.
Okay.
So we need to finish
Address that, yeah.
Yes.
Well, finish the job.
Yes.
I'll finish the song. Okay then. Thanks.
All right, culture.
All right, culture.
Morning, Jam Dong. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, you guys.
Yeah, man. Morning, man.
Morning.
Question. Would backlighting be effective in helping to control wildland fire? That's my question.
All right. Let's see this next call. Good morning. Yes, go ahead. You're live.
Yes, good morning to you and the firefighters there with you.
Good
Morning.
morning.
Yes,
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, this is from across the water. Grenada, firefighter himself.
In Grenada, you said?
I just want to. Yes, Grenada.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Just want to commend the officers here with you. A very, very good and interesting program, very informative, very, very educative. Well, I've had the opportunity to be across there myself in St. Kitts.
Yes.
A level 2 fire force, so I have quite a few friends there.
Yes.
So I just want to say my blessings to you all and keep up the good program. But I've said it
on my page across here, so I hope it can reach afar and a lot of people can learn, because in this time now, dry season period, we call it, the education is really needed for folks to know directly how to manage things and stuff, and go about doing business in terms of clearing the land and all this stuff, and related to bush fires, or as well as we call it. So I don't want to take much time. I just want to say a pleasant good morning to you all and keep up the good work on ZIG and also the firefighters of St. Christopher and Nevis.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank
Fellow
you much for
firefighter.
calling. Yes, we appreciate the call, sir.
One of our brothers.
And so before you go, man, so to Peter Roseman, and when I was there, I think CFO Rollins was the commissioner. I don't know if it's still wrong, and to Dwight and everybody else of the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire Department, Mary, Kathy, so much to mention. And I'd like to say my regards from Grenada. It is Officer Hutchinson. Thank you.
All right,
All right,
man.
man.
Officer
Yes, we
Hutchinson.
will.
Yeah.
All right, Hutchinson, man. Thanks for your call, man. We're going to take our final call, and guys, I'm going to let you all respond, reply to anything, and then we wrap it up. Good morning.
Yeah, Tito. Where culture just talk about there, it's so true, It had days running around over there. The best white cane was in the area. You gotta leave our tongue up there if you want to eat a proper piece of cane.
What you call it? What you call
Understand?
it? Mm-hmm.
And we have a passion for these lands over there. And these people got to make sure that the track is clear. Some people that want to go jogging, people come from the States, come in the circus. And said they can't even reach up by Eloise. I had many days going up there, up by a cave. You understand? Where you get the cold water and a lot of man support. One day, Sunday, I'm going to go up there and look at it, I'm going to look at it and I will speak. We have to maintain these things. Now, for instance, the development over there, before fire break out, how I don't get up there? Where can't you talk about the body of water coming up the hill and they factory used to build painted to cut the water?
All right, we seem to have lost Jamdong there. But thanks for your contribution as usual, Jamdong.
Yes.
You're born in this land. Nobody going to run you.
Definitely.
I want to tell Jamdong when he planning to go up there, maybe he could link us and, we take a hike up there one of these days,
Yeah, I know you like that,
I love hikes. I love hikes.
I know that. So let's see. Which order you want to do? You want to respond to the callers first?
Let's finish the response to the question
to
from
the
last
bus,
week.
the omnibus, and the
from the
refueling.
police standpoint.
Okay, so from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, their view is that it is illegal for passenger buses to take passengers to the gas station in order to get refueled. They mention within their laws, it is prohibited for them to do that. And they also said that the bus drivers they are aware that they should not take passengers to the gas station.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing both perspective, but I think we're going to lean on the St. Christopher authorities.
The law of the land.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Timothy. All right. I think we had 2 or 3 callers. One question there about, I think it was from Foxy.
Yeah, he asked a question about whether or not backlighting is effective. It is effective, but you would need to know when to use that particular technique. Because there are cases where extinguishing the fire, that option is a better option than backlighting, depending on things like the size of the field, the area of the field. If you have the fire, for instance, like areas at the back of the Seventh Adventist School down by Harsfords, our intention is to get rid or to make the area a bit more safer, rather than prolonged periods of heavy smoke, because once the backlight is more smoke. What backlighting basically causes the fire to burn out itself. Because while fire is coming this way, backlighting would only be effective if you have a proper fire break. A wide dirt road in between this field and the other field. You must have a proper break to do an effective backlight. And once you backlight with a proper break, what would happen? The fire would burn into itself and then eventually die out. You can't just go and backlight a field that is continuous, because what you have is a kind of whole, all you creating with just a more toxic atmosphere. More smoke. Firefighters would be out there for a longer period, and so that really didn't help. So we only use that in areas where you have proper, what's the word again?
Fire breaks.
Proper fire breaks in order for this backlighting to be effective.
What you would have to be mindful too as well is maybe the high velocity of wind, because when you have that high wind taking place and you start in another fire, the area, as I said, once you don't have a proper fire break, the area that you start, the wind might end up take ambers over into an additional field.
And then you have spot fires.
And then you're having spot fires starting over there, which could then spread further. But I just want to say, we do use that method of backlighting to extinguish fires.
All right.
You have to know, as Mr. Williams said, when and how to do it.
Duly noted. Was there anything else we had to address, or that's it? I think
Mr. Williams touched on the fire up Alois Mountain. That was basically everything.
Okay.
And somebody spoke about whether or not we have. Well, I think they mentioned we should have the power of authority to have persons keep the roads clean. Well, we presently don't have that, and that's probably something should be considered. And I know that when the industry was in full swing, the sugar industry, you could have seen the trenches that they speak of. We still have some. I live at Shadwell, so I see them. And the reason why you had those lot of bumps in the road, it was so that when the water hit that bump,
it channels into the
sluice. And what they have done now, which is creating a serious problem, especially up by me, the road is now leveled off. So there's no curves in the road. So the water hardly goes into the sluice. So the water runs straight down, especially coming from the same alleyways. Up by Ferdinand area, the water comes all the way down by the Great House, Kerry's Great House, and onto the concrete road. A lot of water comes down that road, coming off of the dirt road, because there is no channeling to take the water to the sluice. And so we have a serious problem. Now we have a lot of dirt in the road, and the drains and so forth are now filled with dirt from the dirt road, and the dirt road now have some big craters in the road. And that is a road that is being traversed frequently now, because you have a lot of persons living in that area. So persons now can't really, it's not that bad right now, but the road is, beginning to be eroded again. And so they will have to come every so often to fill it up and grade it off again. And so, I don't know if the best option is to put back those things in the road. I don't know. But we have to find a way to get the waters channeled to the sluice until whenever proper drainage and that kind of thing is constructed, and proper roads and so forth.
Okay. All right. Areas. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Something to look forward to, something to look into. And of course, the authorities, they're the ones charged with coming up with ideas. So maybe that's something you guys can reach out to and help implement, even though it's not in your jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's
So it's all about country above self, gentlemen?
Yeah, and safety.
And safety too. Let's wrap up today's program. Timothy, that's your charge.
He took it away from me, but I have no issue.
I'll pass the baton over today.
I have no issue.
Just reminding the general public to be fire conscious, be fire safe. Do all you can to protect your home and property. We have worked hard for what we have. Don't lose it at a snap of a finger.
It's a crazy summer at the cable. Sign up now for a new internet package from now until September 30 for your chance to win crazy summer prizes. Be one of 3 weekly winners of $100